This is Let's Finally Talk, a heart-to-heart with Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, live streaming every night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm your host, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Join me on YouTube at Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, on Facebook at Dr. Jacalyn, and on Instagram at Dr. Jacalyn, as seen and heard on the USA Global TV and Radio Network worldwide. We've earned the YouTube Silver Creator Award, and I've earned the 100 Global Top Women Icons in Media. My TV shows are Iconic Women, Creating a World of Possibilities, Judgment, the Hidden Sin, A Woman's Prerogative, Sisterhood Across Borders, It's Your Healthy Lifestyle, and the latest updates. Thanks so much for watching. See you tomorrow. We're streaming every night live on Let's Finally Talk. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to another episode of Let's Finally Talk with Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. That would be yours truly. Hello, hello. Today, we are going to be talking about putting yourself out there, even when it feels uncomfortable. So if you're joining us for the first time, I am here as a peace ambassador and as someone who really believes that we are all capable of finding inner peace. And I've created something called elevated listening, which is listening without judgment, listening without problem solving, listening without stage hogging, and listening without interruption. So all of our shows are based on that. And of course, we do have, you remember, the golden rule. Ooh, what is this? Ask yourself these three questions before you speak, before you react, and before you post or comment on someone's posts. The three questions are, is what I'm about to say, what I'm about to write, is it kind? Is it necessary? And is it true? And if it is not all three of these things, maybe think before you act. And that could definitely mean taking that 6-second pause, taking that time to reflect and thinking to yourself, is it really that urgent and important that I say what I have to say, knowing that I could hurt someone's feelings? And I've shared with you before that there is research, and I forget exactly where it's from, Harvard or Stanford, one of those places, that when people say something unkind, that we can forgive them. As humans, we have the capacity to forgive them, but it might take up until 20 years before we actually forget. And sometimes we never forget. We just go on with our life and the other person thinks everything's fine, or maybe they don't. But inside, we know that the person showed us who they are. So let's get into our topic today. This topic is really meaningful for me because I'm about to start on another chapter of my life. I like to think of myself as continuously evolving. If you think about that childlike curiosity and wonder that children have, they're just full of energy. And so I don't have that same kind of energy, but I'm very interested in education and in technology. And so I continue to put myself out there getting certifications and training. And so today actually marks an incredible milestone for me personally and professionally. I had applied to the Wharton School of Business to take their Chief Strategy Officer training, which I'm not sure if it's 7, 8, or 9 months. It hasn't been clarified as of yet that I can see. But when I applied, I thought, I don't know if I'll get in because of my age, because they ask you how much work experience you have to have, and you have to have at least 10 years. So at 62, we can do the math. I've had a lot of experience. And so when I got accepted, I was super excited. And I thought to myself, okay, we have to remember the amount of work that's going to be part of this journey. And so I put myself out there anyway. And today when I went onto the platform, it was open, and some of it is live and some of it is not live, and some of it will actually meet in person. So it's exciting because it's a multi-dimensional platform. So it reminded me back until 2006. And in 2006, I was working in my corporate career. and my career kept me very busy. I was traveling, and that was some of the travel was international. And I was also working part time as I believe I was a makeup artist at the time. I always was fascinated with makeup, and I thought, well, I can learn how to do makeup, and I can also get the store discount of 20%. So I was working full time. I was also working part time, and I had a store on eBay, and I was running 60 auctions a week. And it was so exciting because at the time I had a Blackberry, and people would go on eBay and they'd ask questions, and I'd be just so thrilled thinking that someone was going to be buying my used designer items. And of course, I kept everything in great condition, but just answering the questions and seeing if your minimum was met. It was just so much fun. So I had some extra time, and I remember exactly where I was. I was sitting in New Jersey at the Jersey Shore, and I thought, you know what? I have a master's degree. I'm going to go for my doctorate. And just like that, I started to think about what it would look like to get a doctorate. And I thought, how amazing would it be to be Dr. Kerbeck? And it wasn't really from an ego place. I always wanted to be a teacher. And even though I have a master's degree, I thought, well, I could be an even better teacher and have even more credentials. And so I started the journey and the application, and so it was quite a process. And so I had applied to University of Phoenix, and I got into their doctoral program. And it was such a dream come true, but I had no idea about the amount of work that was going to be required. And so just imagine this. I'm in a career that's very demanding. I'm calling on major Fortune 100 companies across the world. I'm flying, I'm traveling, I'm entertaining. At the time, we had all of these requirements for entertaining. We had to go to so many dinners, so many events, so many sporting events. And so after all of this, I would come back to my hotel and I'd have to do my work for the doctorate. And so I started in 2006, and it was a 5-year program. And in 2011, I had finished my doctoral dissertation, which was quite something. And that's a whole other story. But I had to rewrite my doctoral dissertation 118 times per my mentor at the time. And he told me it was going to be really tough on me. And it was a very interesting subject that I worked on. It was triangulating data. I'm not going to get into it, but I learned a lot, and I really grew as a person by doing that. And so I'll never forget this. It was March 26th, 2011. And my birthday is March 26th. And I was in Florida, which is where I was living at the time, across from my parents. And I went out with some friends to celebrate. It was in the afternoon. And I got a phone call, and I didn't recognize the number. And the person said, "Hello, is Dr. Kerbeck there?" And I said, "You have the wrong number." And the person said, "No, I'm looking for Dr. Kerbeck." And I said, "I heard you, but you have the wrong number." And then finally he said who he was. And he said, "I want to congratulate you. You're Dr. Kerbeck." And I can still remember it like it was yesterday. It still gets me choked up. So it's such an accomplishment. And so it went from putting myself out there to do something when people were like, where are you going to find the time? You're already working full time, you're working part time. And by the way, I could have quit the part time job, but I just loved doing the makeovers, and I loved running the auctions on eBay. And then I'll never forget a woman in Australia. She bought my Valentino red patent leather heels, pumps, and she wore them for her wedding, and she took pictures of herself and she sent them to me. And I used to do all of the boxing and the shipping for all the items, and I put a card in there. And so anyway, I could have stopped doing those things, but I didn't. And so I got the phone call and I became Dr. Kerbeck. And it was probably the greatest moment in my life that I'll ever remember. My father and mother took me out with a bunch of our friends, and we celebrated. And then I got to fly out to Arizona for the actual graduation. And my mother came, and some of my girlfriends came, and my cousin came. And when I walked across that stage, and it was Tom Brokaw, I believe he's the one who gave this speech. And when I walked across that stage, and they do something where they call it you're hooding you, they put the hood up. I can't even tell you. I can't even tell you. It was $150,000. It was 5 years of my life, and it was the best thing I ever did. And no one can ever take that away from me. And that's what my father used to say. He would say, you can lose so much in your life, but no one can take your education away from you. Excuse me, just choked up. So, what am I talking about today and why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing it up because I know many of you are afraid to put yourself out there to do something that you truly have dreamed about. And what do? We come up with excuses. Just like when I applied to Wharton, I thought to myself, I'm sure they're not going to pick me because I'm too old. And now they have picked me. And so now I will start that journey and I'm very excited. And by the way, I'm also going to be starting a course at Harvard on lifestyle and longevity. And so I'm going to be doing that at the same time I'm doing the Wharton, at the same time I'm producing and hosting TV shows and running two businesses and giving keynotes and writing books. So you may say to yourself, I don't even know what is wrong with her. You may be judging me. But guess what? I'm having the time of my life. I recently got to go to London last month and I recorded my first song. I always wanted to be a singer, and people said to me, you have a terrible voice. You'll never be a singer. And now I have a song, and I think it's pretty darn good. I think it's pretty good. I'm not saying I'm going to be going to any award ceremonies soon, but I feel like the way that we did it, the team and myself, and then Abby Road mastering it, it was really an accomplishment. So again, I'm saying to you, what is your dream? I know what all the excuses are and the reasons are. It's money, it's time, it's this and it's that. If those things were not there and you could do anything you wanted to do in the world, what is it you would do? What is it? And once you know what it is, and by the way, sometimes people don't know what the thing is. They don't know what it is because their mind is so busy and consumed with worry and anxiety. So I'm saying to you, think about the fact if someone gave you a blank check to do whatever you wanted to do, what would you do with it? What would your dream be? So, continuing on in terms of how this all comes together with elevated listening, I want you to think about the courage that's required to change the same old routine that you've had. Think about it. Most of us, we get up every day and we do the same thing day in and day out. And we never take time to look around and see what else is out there. Now, this is the time of the year when the holidays are coming. And so there's all these routines that people do for the holidays. And there's a lot of stress. And then finally, we come to the last day of the year, December 31st. And we say to ourselves, okay, I'm going to make some changes. And usually the changes are something that we have to really change our mindset. The first one that typically comes up is losing weight. We're going to lose weight. Well, in order to lose weight, and this is me included, we have to completely change the way that we look at food. Because I grew up in a family where food was a celebration. My father loved to go out to dinner. And when we would go out to dinner, he would say to the server, by the way, we're dining and we're going to be here all night. So you would have course after course. And I was very blessed that I grew up and had those opportunities. But now I don't look at food the same way. I look at food as a source of energy. So now I focus much more on protein and supplements. So I've changed my mindset when it comes to food. But that doesn't mean if I wanted to lose weight at 62 that it's that easy to do. I'm telling you, it is not easy to do. I'd have to completely dramatically change my lifestyle because I'm already working out over 2 hours every day, 2 protein shakes a day. I mean, I've cut down on really, I don't eat that much food, but I do like my Chardonnay and I do like my chocolate. And occasionally I do like pizza. So there are three things that I really do like. And I've decided that no, I'm not cutting them out of my life because if I could get to look like this imaginary woman that I've always thought I'd wanted to be with the jacked up shoulders and the ripped abs, would I really be happy? Probably not, because the choices I'd have to make to look like that would involve something every day. Now, when you think about what I just shared about what my schedule is, obviously my schedule is jam packed And now it's going to be even more packed. And I can't wait. And I'm super excited. So I'm willing to do what it takes to do the work, to do the studying, to do the homework, etc., at the same time that I'm running my businesses and doing what I love there. That to me is worth it. But for me to give up every single food item that I like so that I could potentially have this jacked up stomach and shoulders, it's not worth it to me. So I continue to put myself out there, even sharing this with you. It's not easy for people to speak publicly. Lately, I've heard from a number of people how they'd like to have a TV show, but they don't know that they have the confidence to do it. And I'm here to say to you, do it. Because if you have an opportunity to get out and have a dream fulfilled, why would you give that opportunity up to go and play small and play safe? It is so rewarding when you put yourself out there to do something. You know, I've noticed lately on my Instagram, which I'm not a huge Instagram fan, but I do think Instagram is great for a number of things. I've seen lately women who are crushing fitness goals. I mean, women who were in their 80s, 90s, I think even saw 100, somebody running in a marathon. Unbelievable. I saw recently a woman holding a plank. I forget how long it was. I think 4 hours and something. I got up to 23 minutes and I thought that was a lot. So when I see people breaking the barriers on things, that to me is exciting. When I see opportunities to take education and learn and grow, that to me is sexy. That's a turn on. When I see that I can learn about artificial intelligence and technology, I didn't know anything about television production, by the way. I didn't know anything about running a television network, is zero. And now I know quite a bit. I didn't know anything about media before this, but I'm always someone who wants to learn. So I'm here to encourage you as we count down the clock on 2025 to get out of your comfort zone and find something that really brings you joy. Now, once you actually are open to this, you might not know what it is that you want to do. But ask yourself the questions. What brings me joy in my life? Look in the mirror. This is a great exercise. Look in your own eyes in the mirror and say to yourself, you know what? I really like you. I really love you. Say it to yourself every day because you are your own best coach. You have everything that you need to be successful, to be happy, and to be at peace. But you don't believe it. You don't believe it because we live in a world where we spend so much time gossiping and putting people down. We spend so much time blaming other people instead of looking and accepting accountability for our own behavior. So, what will you do with the rest of the time that's left in 2025? Will you make a commitment to change something, but you won't put action behind it? That's where we fall short. We fall short because we don't have the action, we don't have the commitment to make things happen. So, with this Wharton program, when I first applied, they tell you right away that every Friday there's a live session. Then there's other sessions that you have to do. And then there's probably 5 to 7 hours worth of homework. So I had to say to myself, do I have that capacity to do this? Because I don't want to set myself up to fail. So for you, what I'm saying is once you know that you want to go after your dream, whatever your dream is, you have to say to yourself, you know what? I know there are going to be challenges along the way. I know that my immediate inner circle might not be happy about the fact that I'm going to do X, Y, Z, because I might not be able to spend that much time or as much time. You have to be so committed and so convicted to do this that whatever comes your way is a learning opportunity. It's not a reason to drop out. It's not a reason to go backwards. Okay, we're going forwards. We're going into a new year, and the clock is ticking on our longevity. So even though there are so many advancements in science and holistic approaches, and we can do affirmations, meditations, and yoga, we're all here for a limited amount of time. Now, some of you might believe in the afterlife and coming back. That's another show and another time. But for right now, I'd like you to grasp onto a dream of what it is that you really want, not all the things you don't want. If I were to say to someone, well, what is it you really want? What do people say? Well, I don't want this and I don't want that. Okay, great. What do you want? Well, I'd like to be this, I'd like to do that, but. And as soon as we come up with the but, we're giving ourselves an excuse. So, what is it that you want to do that will bring you joy? Without any excuses, what comes up for you right away? When I say to you, viewer, what is it you want or need to feel fulfilled and have joy and peace in your life? And whatever comes up to you, write it down. Write it down. And then together we can figure out a way for you to get from where you are today to where you're going. I personally surround myself with people who are further as coaches, further advanced than I am. And I'm always learning things because when I'm open to learning, then I can take it in to help me continue finding peace in my life. I would say, for the most part, at 62, I have a very peaceful life. I did not always have a very peaceful life. Someone told me many years ago I was very prone to drama, and I think that was true. But today, I don't want any drama. Today, I don't want to be involved in situations or conversations that the intent and the core is not about being peaceful. It's not about being a good citizen. I'm also a peace ambassador. And so I'm always looking for ways to help people find peace. So I hope I've shared something that has resonated with you today, tonight, wherever it is that you are in the world. And when you think about following your goals to get to where it is you want to go, I want you to just realize that opportunities and experiences are things that we can actually welcome into our life. So when things don't go our way, it's truly key to look at how are we showing up? And most importantly, are we using this as an excuse not to continue on with finding and following and attaining our dream? Because this happens too. People will just give up and they'll say, well, it wasn't meant to be. You don't know if it wasn't meant to be because you gave up. And so giving up, if it's for safety reasons, health reasons, there's a myriad of other reasons, then that's one thing. But if you're just giving up because you're afraid, you're coming from a place of fear. We've discussed this before. Fear is a negative, low energy feeling. We can come from fear, we can come from love. And when we come from love, when we love ourselves enough that we don't have to look outside to someone else to make us feel good, then we have arrived one step closer to inner peace. But if you're out there asking other people, do you think I should do this? Do you think I should do that? If I went and asked my immediate circle if they thought I should take a class at Wharton, I'm sure they would say, don't you have enough on your plate? So I don't ask. Why am I going to ask? Because I know what I need for me. And I'm very grateful for that. It's been a long journey to get here, but I want the same for you. I want you to be able to live your dream, to look back over your life when it's time to check out and say, you know what? I have no regrets. I did what I wanted to do. I traveled. I took up playing an instrument, whatever it might be, to be at peace and to have closure because you have no regrets. So that's our episode for today on Let's Finally Talk. And I will wrap it up for you very nicely with a bow. We all have dreams. Think about when you were a child. I know when I was a child, I wanted to be a lounge singer. I wanted to wear a black sequin dress that was slit up the side. And then I was lying across the piano like Michelle Pfeiffer. And I think it was Baker Boys, the Fabulous Baker Boys. I think that was it. And I was singing into a microphone. And so at 62 years of age, I was not wearing a sequin dress and I was lying across a piano. But I have a piano, but I recorded my very first song. Please Listen to What I Say is what it's called. So I executed something in my dream, in the dreams that I had as a child, that brings me great joy. And now another dream, going to Wharton. It's so meaningful. And I have so much joy in my heart and so much gratitude that I'm able to take this journey. I'm grateful that I'm able to be here with you, that I've created this television network with our team, that I can essentially come on anytime I want to bring messages of love, compassion, empathy, and peace. So thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for following. And please do remember the golden rule, which is before you speak, before you act, is it kind? Is it necessary? And is it true? I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And right now, I will leave you with just a short clip of my new single. Please listen to what I have to say. You can find it over on Apple. You can find it on Amazon, and you can find it on Spotify. Thank you. Be back tomorrow.
Listen, babe, now. Listen, babe, now. Listen, babe, now, listen, babe, now. Listen, babe, now, listen, babe, now.
In a noisy world, true connection begins with listening. Elevated listening transforms every conversation in just 5 simple steps. Pause and breathe. Set your intention. Listen with curiosity. Reflect back. Agree on one next step. Join the Listening Mentor on Let's Finally Talk with Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, the Listening Mentor, where we help you find inner peace, one conversation at a time. Streaming every day. Let's Finally Talk TV show with Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, only here on USA, Global TV and Radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channels to watch and engage with all our content.
Is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? In a world quick to judge, one book dares to reveal the hidden cost of silence. Discover holy but harmful, the silent sin of judgment, how hidden judgments destroy relationships and damage lives, by Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. The Amazon #1 bestseller that's transforming the way we understand ourselves and the way we see others. Pick up the companion workbook to uncover your own hidden judgments and learn how to break free from them. Available now on Amazon and at fine bookstores worldwide.
Nestled in the heart of the Blue Ridge Mountains, the Horseshoe Farm has always been more than a destination. It's a living, breathing reflection of community, connection, and transformation. Once a humble family farmstead, it has evolved over the years to become a sanctuary for travelers, seekers, families, and friends alike. Originally reimagined by the Turchin family as an Airbnb property, the farm began its journey into hospitality with simple roots, welcoming guests to experience the beauty and peace of the sacred land. As word spread and the vision deepened, the property organically blossomed into a boutique resort, rooted in the values of slow living, intentional experiences, and the magic of gathering. Today, the Horseshoe Farm is a 90-acre experiential retreat that merges hospitality, wellness, and culinary excellence. It is home to the Stable Spa, the Silo Cookhouse, distinctive lodging options, and a curated calendar of events that nourish mind, body, and spirit. Our guest experience is designed to be both grounding and expansive, where the comforts of luxury meet with the simplicity of nature. At its core, the Horseshoe Farm is about transformation of land, of self, and of community. We are proud of where we've come from. We are confident in who we are today and excited for the road ahead. Hello, I'm Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, also known as the Listening Mentor and President and Founder of USA Global TV and Radio. I had the opportunity, the pleasure of attending a retreat at the Horseshoe Farm just recently. I was so impressed with all of the opportunities that were presented to me in this glorious setting, as well as the highest level of customer service, that I've decided to put together a retreat at the Horseshoe Farm in Hendersonville, North Carolina, United States of America, June 3rd through the 6th, 2026. You can expect to have a beautiful time of relaxation combined with learning, community, collaboration. Do consider joining me in this wonderful opportunity to reconnect with yourself, with others, and with nature. For more information, email me at drjacalyn@usaglobaltv.com.
In a world craving connection, one platform dared to dream bigger. USA Global TV and Radio, a beacon for global voices, authentic storytelling, and elevated listening. Led by visionary Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, the journey from a spark to a global force is now captured in one inspiring book. Honored with YouTube's Silver Creator Award for surpassing 100,000 subscribers. Discover the evolution, the challenges, the triumphs, and the unstoppable spirit that created a global movement. Executive producer Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang. Creative director Paul Garcia. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication, or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited. Now an Amazon #1 new release in paperback and ebook. Broadcasting Brilliance, the evolution of USA Global TV and Radio, is inspiring readers around the world. Join the movement that's redefining global media one story at a time.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/usaglobaltv. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Music by Johnny Dies. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative Direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.